The new channel. The new channel.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the new channel. We are here to help you see the new you. My name is Lloyd Luna and this is The Big Picture. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, wherever you're watching from around the world. Good evening from the beautiful Philippines. It's July 31st, araw po ng Friday, last day of the month. Sa lahat po naman nagdiriyo ng kanilang kaarawan, happy birthday. At sa ating pong mga kaibigang Muslim, maligayang pagdiribang din po sa inyo. Alright, Gabriel Bill Dominguez, our master salespreneur from Green Circle Realty is watching. Tutok lamang po, if you are watching, please do share our live stream link, and also you can organize your own watch party so other people, your associates, friends, and families can actually watch our show for tonight. Dahil alam niyo na, meron tayong nihandang importanteng episode for tonight. I don't know if you feel that things are getting better for everyone, but you have to be sure. So please, kung kayo pa yung pumapasok na, please always be safe. Yan po yung lagi naming paalala. So Arman Benko is watching already on our stream. So Arman Benko is going to have his show on TNC, The Pocket Money. In-announce ko na po para hindi na maka-atras. But please do also send your comments, questions, or suggestions sa ating po comment stream down below. At kung meron po kayong mga importanteng announcements na ipapasabi sa amin, please do also write them down sa ating pong comment stream because our social media team can pull them off and then send it to us. Interesting times, but equally challenging, right? Everybody is challenged. All businesses are challenged. The thing about this thing, our situation now, is nobody can really tell until when this is going to last. But for sure, something must be done. And hopefully sa inyo pong mga sariling personal na buhay is ginagawa niyo po ng paraan yung recovery mismo. Ano? So as always, the channel is here for you to find some inspiration from our shows. And hopefully makapag-contribute kami sa recovery ng ating po ekonomiya. Because what we do here in the new channel is pretty much giving people some shows to inspire them. And I think this is what we need right now more than ever, inspiration. To get back on our feet and really face life again. Whether it's yung old normal na sinasabi nyo kung gusto nyo pambalikan or the new norm na meron na tayo ngayon. Medyo gas-gas na yung new normal, ano? Pero new reality siguro would be a better terminology for it. But all's good, all is good, all is good. God is good, so let's keep moving. Again, napapanood nyo po ang The Big Picture from Mondays through Fridays, 7 to 8 p.m. So sa lahat po ng mga tumututok at patuloy na nagtitiwala at nanonood since we started our first live stream on April 21st, maraming salamat po sa inyong pagtutok. Mula po sa isang live stream show is naging full-blown channel na po itong TNC. Because people have been looking for shows na talaga namang makatulong sa kanila to inspire them. So, before we move on, dahil po sa may mga nagmamahal na rin po sa ating show, I would like to thank, of course, yung ating sa mga magiging sponsors ng show. So, dumating na po sa akin yung consigned shoes na tinatawag. Stem cell daw po ito. So, stem cell. Ini-spray daw po ito para yung skin is maging mas maganda. So, yan po yung bottle niya. Yan. Tingnan natin kung ano meron dito. Kasi tatry ko to dahil may nagbigay. Sige. So, ito po ay para sa lalaki. May para sa babae nito. So, para sa lalaki siya. And then, ini-spray siya 10 to 12 inches from face. And then, kailangan i-avoid spraying into eyes, no? Para daw sa lahat ng skin types. But anyway, maraming salamat, Consensus, sa inyong pagpapadala nito. Itatry natin itong stem cell na ito kung magiging okay. Mukhang magiging okay naman, no? Para maganda-ganda ang ating skin habang nagla-live stream. Hello, Christina Liaser Oreta. Thank you so much for dropping by to our stream. Maraming salamat sa pagdutok din. Okay, here we go. Before I bring in our guest for tonight, again, kung hindi nyo pa po share, please do share our live stream link and also organize your own watch party. Pakisend na rin po sa inyong mga Viber groups, kung ano pang groups yung meron kayo, mga chat groups, para po makapanood sila ng The Big Picture episode natin tonight. In the meantime, I'm gonna read the headlines from the Manila Times. Big changes in government's COVID response plan. Ban to cell tower deployment pushed. DepEd. Most parents prefer modular learning. Lucien Dy Tioco won't let go of Sabah. Muslims celebrate Eid al-Adha today. Uniting and healing as one family, Santa Rosa LGU responds to people's needs amid pandemic. The USD chief, still highest earner in the Duterte cabinet in 2009, according to the Commission on Audit. And hot money worth $235 million left PH in June. Headlines presented to you by the Manila Times. For more news and information, go to manilatimes.net or download their application at digitaledition.manilatimes.net. All right, here we go. Let's bring in our guest for tonight. Very special and marami tayo matututunan for sure. And then hopefully ma-inspire din tayo sa kanyang mga sasabihin ng mga wisdom for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the Executive Vice President of the PhilSTAR Group, Lucien Dy Tioco. Hello, sir. Welcome to the Big Picture, and thank you so much for coming to the show.
Good evening, Lloyd. Good evening, viewers. I'm very much honored to be in this show. I'd like to congratulate also you and Apple for coming up with this very inspirational channel.
Opo, maraming salamat sa I'm sure valuable yung time ninyo and I'm sure you can never be any busier because of what's happening right now. But first, I would like to ask, how have you been? For 4 months and counting, what are the things that has changed in your life?
Well, for one, our life is really is going around from the home and office, and basically we just juggle between the two places on a daily basis. When the pandemic started, sa bahay lang usually, and it really changed a lot. A huge change for all of us.
Mhm. I wonder how was your first few days and few weeks during the quarantine? Because ako po bilang isang professional speaker, I used to go out talaga to travel. So very outgoing ako. And when the lockdown started, it came to a point na parang nag-deny ako na hindi dapat nangyayari ito. So I became a bum for a few weeks doing Netflix and all this stuff na parang nawala ako dun sa wish ko. How was your first few days and few weeks during the lockdown?
Um, for me, it was I was really more focused on what we need to do. Kasi being the head of different teams, parang it's really I'm really compelled to think about the welfare of the team. So I was basically trying to arrange what arrangement that the team can do in terms of the work hours, and how we can hold meetings, and what activities we can do for the next few months. Because practically all businesses has really stopped, and for us, for example, my advertising sales team suddenly has no ads to look after.
Opo. The reason I ask is because maraming mga entrepreneurs or businessmen na nandito sa show namin since I started doing the live streaming on April 25. Meron silang mga ilang moments na, for example, the owner of Carmen's Best Ice Cream is parang nag-garden siya for a while. So yung mga activities na never niyang ginawa for the longest time or never pa niyang nagawa is nagawa niya dito because what's happening. Parang form of coping mechanism niya. So sa inyo is talagang diretsong work lang.
Diretsong work, saka trying to, well, dito sa bahay, it's really trying to continue what I used to do. So, well, I used to go to the gym a lot. So I try to replicate all those things doing here at home. So,
Mm.
yun. Tapos, trying to learn or relearn some things that you attend in the house. So napapansin namin yung garden namin, so pinag-iinitan namin yung garden. So those things.
These are the things
Uh,
that we normally don't want to do kasi because we are very mobile sa masyado tayong maraming ginagawa. Before I ask other questions, sir, good evening daw po from Gabriel Dominguez. Paras daw po kayong Tumasyan.
oh,
Oh,
hello.
opo, yun ang sabi. And then nanonood si Chino Ahoro, also host ng isang show natin dito along with Robinson at Tumampos. Sir, can you walk us through, bago ka maging Executive Vice President of PhilSTAR, ano yung mga quick highlights ng story ng buhay ninyo?
Okay. I'm just an ordinary person. So graduated from UST. I finished journalism. Actually, when I was doing journalism, I think halos lahat ng mga batches ko became reporters, became known writers and editors. Ako, I was not really interested into going into the newspaper writing or reporting. But by accident, I became involved in the newspaper, and but it was more on the business side.
Paano po yung
Um,
accident? Sir, paano po nangyari yung accident?
After graduation, kasi ang hilig ko talaga music eh. So I worked in a record company. It was Octo Arts at that time. I was an A&R, artist and repertoire. So it was a fun job kasi I did a lot of listening the whole day. And then I get to pick the releases, what is fit for the market. So parang, pinagtawag namin doon nag-audition. You audition all the records, the different records. So you get to be exposed to a lot of genres, from new wave to pop to classical, even mga menudo during that time, yung mga popular. So my job is try to find for a hit song or people that would really be exposed to that kind of music that or medyo nag-anticipate ka na ng trend. So
Ano
anyway,
po?
it's kind of marketing. Yes,
Ano yung isang song na natsambahan na, hindi ko natsambahan siguro, pero ano yung isang song na nakuha mo or lumabas na parang ito yung parang hindi mo makakalimutan because it really brought the house down?
Eto hindi ako nagyayabang. Pero if you're familiar with Freddy Politi,
Yes, I heard it.
yeah, that was one artist from Norway who was really unknown. And sabi ko maganda tong band. And I was pushing for it. But during that time, it was more of the popular music. And the new wave genre, the underground scene was still in its infancy. So, hindi pinarelease ng boss ko. So what I did was, um, pina-play ko sa isang radio station. And then it got a lot of pickups until naging popular siya. And then there was already suddenly a demand for it to be released locally. So after that, naging popular si Ferdy Polipi, nagkaroon pa sila ng concert dito. So yun yung
Yun yung hindi nyo makakalimutan sa lahat ever doon sa part
yes,
ng buhay journey na yun.
yes, yes.
And then after that, paano yung I was asking kanina yung accident na napunta kayo dun sa parang operations or management side.
Well, because I was very determined at the time to stay long in the music industry, and since I'm very knowledgeable about the music industry, and it's not because gusto kong kumanta or gusto ko sumayaw, pero interested ako sa business side, and my dream was really having a record company by back then, but after 2 years, nagsawa din ako. And I was asking my dad my dad actually wanted me to always gusto niya ako mag-advertising. So, every time pumapasok ako, sasabihin niya, Lucien, mag-absent ka ngayon. Mag-exam ka ngayon.
Mag-absent ka ngayon? Parang iba po yung parent.
Brand manager over some multinational company. So saka po kulit niya sa IDBN. So after nung stint ko sa Octo Arts, sabi ko sige, since wala akong ginagawa, sige, I'll try out to work in an advertising agency. But during that time, may opening sa media, and that's how I landed into PhilSTAR.
Oh, so wala siya sa radar originally and then napunta kayo doon. I wonder how was the first few days and few weeks when you landed dun sa media na?
Actually, it was really a surprise for me kasi basically I'm very shy as a person. So parang my dad was really pushing me okay, alam mo, if you really want to make it big, mag-sales ka. And for me, parang it's really unimaginable uh, for a shy person like me to be outgoing and talking to clients. But the surprise there is when I tried going to my first client, um, ayun, I immediately got my first ad, my first sale. So parang, nag, uh, I was just talking a few lines, tapos biglang naniwala naman siya. So
I wonder if you can still remember that first client. I'm sure you do.
yeah, it was Western appliances.
Okay, and what
Uh,
do you think? What do you think went right at the time? The few lines.
Nothing much. I was just talking about the paper. It's a good paper, and if you want to advertise, yun lang sinabi ko actually.
So hindi natin malalaman kung kung paano nag-work yung first deal na yun that went right.
Yeah. So after that, um, when I landed sa Star, I really liked the paper. When kasi ano ang Star actually was a spin-off from Inquirer. Uh, yung mga owners, si Betty Gobelmonte, si Art Borjal, si uh, Louis Beltran, and the late Max Solidin, broke away from the Inquirer and established the Star. That was
Mhm.
in 1986. So yung dyaryo namin, biglang nag-shift kami to subscribing in the Philippine Star. And then sabi ko, parang ang saya nitong paper na to. Parang gusto ko mag-work dito. So I told my dad, sige, since I'm not doing anything, and then there's no opening yet from the other agencies, let me try out the Star. Parang I like to work there. And then the culture, when I first worked there, iba yung culture niya. So it
Mhm.
was really, um, there was a happy family atmosphere.
Mhm. So parang
Where
ano siya, parang ang tawag very dynamic, very engaging yung culture sa Star.
very engaging culture kasi yung content niya parang it's really different. It's a different approach kasi when we started actually, um, walang Sunday na dyaryo. Imagine mo walang Sunday. Wala siyang Sunday. And then, the boss then at the time, si Betty Belmonte, only wanted 8 pages and no ads. So strictly, there was
Wow.
somehow it create that kind of attraction to advertisers na, maybe dahil bawal maglagay ng ad dun. All the more parang yung desire to place an ad there.
Mhm.
Uh, became a clever marketing ploy.
I think it is. Mukhang dapat pala yan ang ginawa ko dito sa The Big Picture. Apple, no? But sorry,
So
I will have to share my part of story sa Philippine Star. I don't know if nung time ninyo when you were still in elementary is ina-assign yung mga magbabasa ng balita. So sa amin sa Gumaca, Quezon, province of Quezon, my home province. Parang every Monday kailangan mong mag-report. So weather report, news, mga ganyan. So bibili kami ng periodiko, so newspaper, dun sa kaisa-isang newspaper stand sa amin, dun sa bayan namin, and then magre-report kami. So clippings, etc., etc. So I will have to say this with all honesty, na Philippine Star yung aming pinagkukunan ng clippings. So binabasa din yung weather report, saka yung mga news. Kasi meron kaming regular reporting by group sa amin pong school sa Gumaca.
nice.
And then I grew up. I grew up as a school paper journalist. Became editor in chief of several student publications up to until college sa PUP. Became a nominee for the Catholic Mass Media Awards. And then I landed nga sa Manila Times naman as a writer, but I took engineering as a course. But I can remember yung the way former Max Sullivan was writing. It was so finesse. It's so, sabi ko parang ito yung gusto kong gawin. So yung influence ng Star sa life ko as a writer, I think is laging nandun. Especially when in college, when I was in PUP. Although hindi kami yung leftist newspaper which is the Catalyst, kami yung sa other school papers sa engineering. But mainly I was influenced by Philippine Star.
Oh, that's nice to hear, Lloyd.
But anyway, so this is not my interview. This is your interview. So let's move on. Opo. So, ano yung culture is great, but for sure, may dynamics din doon. Ano yung mga challenges na masasabi mo parang na-challenge ka as an executive sa Philippine Star papunta doon sa rank na meron kayo ngayon?
Actually, when we started, sobrang, hindi. In a matter of a few months, nung pagpasok ko sa Star, I think nasa fourth or third na siya, the newspaper. And there was already a desire for us to really overtake the other two papers. At that time, hindi Inquirer yung lead. Bulletin yung time na yun. Inquirer, I think, towards the 90s, they became the top paper. So Star has always been playing second fiddle to both papers. And but there was really a lot of dynamism and new things that we could find in the Star during that time. Kami yung unang-unang newspaper who introduced full color. So, hindi pa uso nun full color, imagine mo. Pero nandun na ako. So,
I'm not going to that direction.
Future at full color. So, na-imagine mo na kung gano'n na ako katagal. I entered the Star in 1987. So,
87.
I've been there for almost 33 years this October.
It must be really an engaging culture. I mean, something that not too many people, especially dun sa area ng advertising, I don't know if I'm generalizing, but if you're talking about media organization, syempre iba't iba naman ang culture yan. So may mga media organizations na mataas din naman talaga yung turnover, if you know what I mean.
Right. Siguro yung combination na parang may family culture that is pervading in the workplace. So nagpo-foster yung support and camaraderie in the team. In our department, for example, there's never been conflicts. If there are conflicts there, we've established a culture of being more upfront. And putting aside any personal or political sentiments in the office. So yun yung mga na-settle namin. And to this day, it's the culture that still persists. So walang intrigahan, walang politics. And then from the bosses, they're very encouraging. So sobrang support yung na-experience mo. And what's really important also is the kind of passion that you see from the people in the Star, that they love their job and they're really bent on improving the business as a whole.
So ito pala yung mararamdaman mo sa paper siguro, no, kung ano yung culture inside the organization. So you are not known to be a political newspaper, are you not?
No, we report, ito yung lagi kong skill. We report news as it is. Kasi the truth shall prevail.
Okay. Yun lang yun. Yun na yung summary ng entire Philippine Star.
Yung pagiging dynamic namin actually is parang on the contrary, the way we report news, very traditional kami. Kasi we don't add color, we don't add any agenda in the way we report. So nung I think mga towards after post-EDSA, most of the newspapers have become more sensational in the way they report, both TV and in TV, radio, print. Parang naging ganun yung naging flavor. Since yung parang yun yung I think the more popular sentiment.
Why did it go to that direction na parang kumbaga dati straightforward and then all of a sudden parang or nagkaroon ng parang transition doon sa sensationalism sa media?
I think I think TV ang proponent kasi you're talking about
Buti,
rating.
buti na lang
So,
hindi kami TV, sir, ah. Buti na lang live stream kami.
tsaka nung time na yun, when TV came back, yung mga different channels came back post EDSA, there was really that desire to hold high ratings. So, binago yung format ng news. And most of the news shifted from English to Tagalog. And since you're talking about a mass audience, the mass audience is really more tabloid in nature. So that affected or snowballed even in the mainstream newspapers. So parang naging ganun yung trend. But Star stuck to the old journalistic way of delivering news.
Okay. That is it's rare na hindi ka masasama doon sa bandwagon, no? I mean, kung lahat halos yun na yung ginagawa to I don't know, to please the audience or the readership or the viewership. So it's interesting. Before I ask you another question, and then before we pause for a very short commercial, Marco Antonio Mabuhay Lucien Dy Tioco, our 2020 Philippine Marketing Association President.
Hi, Marco.
Comment.
Hello, PhilSTAR Board of Directors.
Sige, abangan natin yan. Babalik ka dito kapag ka-presidente ka na uli, Sarah. Okay, I'm going to pause for a very short commercial, and then when we come back, I'm going to ask some questions regarding some of your advocacy, some of the things that you're doing that is very close to your heart na nagre-resonate sa papers, mga projects ninyo na ipakita natin dun sa ating stream viewers. The big picture on the new channel will return. Stay tuned.
Since I got my new place, I've enjoyed every single day here. Hotel-like amenities, attentive staff, resort-style living, all in a premium location. So life here is easy and convenient. That's why I invested in another unit. I can earn more, and they can enjoy the very same things I enjoy at home. What a life! So much more rewarding. So much more to life. SMDC.
We meet beauty every day. We meet power every day. Are you ready?
Ready? Ready.
Beauty is power.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Big Picture on the new channel. Before we continue and bring back the man of the hour, nasabi po ni Gina Kalikdan is good evening everyone. Mabuhay kayong lahat. Hello Sir Lloyd and Sir Lucien Dy Tioco. Nakaka-admire naman po ang isang kagaya mong successful man in the world. Para kay Sir, ano yun, kay Sir Lucien. Keep it up mga sir. Yun. Please do watch our other shows sa TNC. Please do support them as well. Of course, ako po yung inyong nightly date. From Mondays to Fridays at 7 p.m. HR Hotline Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 noon. iBusiness live streaming from Texas and Tennessee Tuesdays and Thursdays 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And live streaming from Dubai, The Fourth Project with Bob Kilapio Wednesdays and Saturdays at 7 p.m. Dubai time. U-Turn with Carmen Ortega Mondays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. The Home Buyer with Dante Salamat, Mondays and Thursdays at 4. The Puppet Stores with Juan Lu, Tuesdays and Fridays at 5 p.m. TNC Marketplace, Thursdays and Fridays at 10 p.m. Mamaya po may marketplace tayo ha. Yung ating mga supportahan yung ating mga na-displace na mga basarista because dito po sila nagbebenta sa TNC Marketplace. Last 2 weeks ago nag-start sila. I think may isang basarista nakabenta yata ng 20,000 pesos worth ng mga bags niya. So supportahan natin ating mga local businesses na ngayon is parang na walang masyadong opportunity. Manood po kayo ng TNC Marketplace. Mamaya po yan, 10 p.m. And of course, ang ating pong The Talk. Ito po yung parang TED Talk. Ha? The TNC The Talk is streaming Mondays at 12 noon. Dalawang speakers, trainers, coaches na binibigyan lamang po ng 20 minutes para magsalita. And then, of course, kaka-launch lang po natin After Shift with Chino and Trisha. Wednesdays and Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Yan po yung susunod na show. They will be talking about after shift. Basically, ano ginagawa ng mga tao pagkatapos ng kanilang shift. And premiering on August 1st is TNC Town Hall. Kasama ko po dyan si Apple at ang mga host ng TNC para po alamin kung ano ang mga development na gusto nyo gawin natin sa ating channel. So we'll be there for your questions and suggestions. Also, we're going to tell you kung ano yung mga nangyayari sa backstage na hindi nyo po alam, ating mga epic fail. Yung po mga nakakatawang pangyayari na hindi po nakikita ng mga tao because you're watching and you don't know what's happening behind the screen. So maraming salamat po in advance sa pag-support. All right, I'm going to bring in now Sir Lucien Dy Tioco, the Executive Vice President ng PhilSTAR Group. Sir, again, sobrang honored kami at hopefully na nag-i-enjoy ka dito sa ating maikling kwentuhan. Maikli lang to.
Yes. Nag-enjoy ako so far.
So far, meron pa tayong ilang minuto so hopefully masustain ko. Okay, let's talk about yung growth ng PhilSTAR kasi for sure maraming hindi alam yung tao. So ano yung growth na yan, which companies or entities you're able to buy, and then bakit binili, ano yung mga principles behind those acquisitions?
I think when we started picking up business in the 90s, we were really excited over nung time ng siguro mga late 90s. Nakikita na namin yung potential lahat ng mga ng business, how it can go further. So one of the expansions were really strategic in the sense that it really helped for the further growth of the PhilSTAR. So in 2004, we bought the Freeman. We entered into a 50-50 joint venture with Goliases in Cebu. So nagtayo kami ng printing plant doon, and it really helped us in terms of really making a foothold in our circulation in Cebu in 2004. And then in 2015, we bought Business World. Strategic also in the sense that there's really a strong business community that Business World enjoys. And during that time, medyo nahirapan si Business World. And we felt excited in turning around the business for Business World. Mm-hmm. And since we got them, we've thankfully naging successful yung mga ventures tsaka pag-manage namin nung 2 other papers. We also have our tabloid that also began even before the PhilSTAR, ang PhilSTAR ngayon, which is the most successful tabloid in the country right now. And then PhilSTAR, naging number one siya uh, towards 2006. And ever since then, especially in advertising revenues na directly hawak ko, from that year on, every month kami yung number one.
Opo. Kasi kami sa Manila Times, I think kiniklaim namin na number 4 kami.
Okay.
Lahat daw kasi nag-claim na number 1. So sabi namin, sige, 4 so tayo. O kaya number 2. Kasi lahat 1. So tayo lang yung nagsusolo dun sa number 2. Yeah, so that's good. Magandang nalaman namin yung acquisition na yun. When you acquired other businesses, yung culture is sila yung nag-a-adapt. Right? I mean, yung culture original ng Star, yun yung makukuha nila when they get bought.
Yes. Primarily, it's the culture na, syempre, it's really trying to understand also where the culture nung previous people that are managing the respective papers. For instance, nung nasa business world kami, of course, we were exposed to the kind of culture first with business world. And hindi naman namin ini-implement kagad yung kultura namin. It's really trying to blend what's positive in our culture that would work in the culture of business world. So, yung joke na namin nung when we started immersing ourselves in business world, yung boss ko si Miguel Belmonte. So I was telling him, siguro mga 1 or 2 weeks na, sabi ko, Miguel, hindi mo ba nahalata dito sa office ng business world? Ang daming matatalinong tao dito, no? Hindi tulad sa atin.
I wonder what was the reaction of Sir Miguel.
Sabi niya, okay na. But you really get to be impressed with the kind of culture, why it's like that. So parang iniintindi mo din how would it work, trying to apply the culture that worked in our experience then. So parang there's also a blend of how to inspire the people also from the companies that we've acquired. So may ganung approach I think would work best when you're in a setting, whether you're in a joint venture or you're taking over a certain company. Of course, it's the old people that you look into, that you have to value. They're there because they're one of the reasons why they became a successful enterprise in the first place. So
meron po bang average timeline dyan na parang masasabi mo na nag-blend na kayo, or it's still continuing process ng pagbe-blend ng culture? Kasi I've consulted to some companies na just ko before I came in, consultant dun sa transformation, change, pag-adapt dun sa change is parang 3 years na or 5 years na in the process, pero parang andun pa rin yung bickering and things like that. So in your particular case, how easy or difficult it is when it comes to blending ng culture when one is acquired?
I think it's a continuous process kasi you get to learn also the culture from the other side, and you pick up the positive points that would blend well in helping forging the company that you've acquired. And it's really important na to let the people feel their value also, na okay, ito yung mga pinaglalaban ng business world. Ito yung values that we think is very important. You have to give that kind of respect also, and recognize that. And it's really important for people to get appreciated in that way. So hanggang ngayon pa rin. Kasi those who have, it's either you're open also to the changes or you move on, diba? So continuously nag-evolve pa rin for me, the way I see it. So it's
Pero
never...
pag ganun ba, sir,
it's never in a mindset na parang, okay, ito yung culture namin, this is what we're going to implement. It's what we have in mind that works, but pero let's see how it will blend.
Okay. So kumaga parang open-ended siya, and then may nare-retain pa din dun sa identity ng original entity
Yeah.
na positive or magko-complement dun sa existing values or principles ng bumili.
Ako, what I really value are the learnings I also pick up from the other papers. For example, Business World, I'm saludo ko sa kanila the way they come up with their content, and the reception of the team is very open. No? So we introduce a lot of new things in Business World. So syempre hindi siya madali when you're trying to introduce new things. But you get to earn it also. Then.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, kailangan talaga magpakiramdaman din. But editorial policy, do you have one for the entire group or may kanya-kanya yung iba't ibang publications?
Iba-iba pa rin. It really depends kasi sa market, what or audience it caters to. So may kanya-kanyang editorial policies na sinusundan. But generally, as much as possible, it just has a, as a media entity, parang we report generally things as fairly as we can.
Okay. Let's talk about marketing. Because magiging presidente ka daw ng ng Philippine Marketing Association. Sabi nila.
Actually, president ako ngayong year.
President ka ngayon na.
Yes.
Kala ko magiging presidente pala. I am so sorry, sir. This calls for editorial erratum, whatever you call it now.
So ako yung first president na naabutan ng COVID.
Okay, so let's jump into that. Kasi interesting yung question na yun. This is the most challenging time siguro in terms of leadership sa lahat ng organization, association, or even yung mga businesses. How are you navigating this crisis, especially this it's association, it's marketing association? Parang na-challenge tayo lahat eh. So ano yung mga decisions, yung mga policies na ini-implement natin ngayon para, hindi ko alam kung para lang makasurvive tayo for the next few months or a few years?
Well, actually, parang naging standstill lang lahat eh. Whether you're in the business, you're working for a company, or you're leading an organization, parang lahat biglang nagka-standstill. But for PMA, since most of our members are from the MSME sector, those are the immediate measures that we looked at, how we can help the small and medium businesses in general. Dahil karamihan, of course, maraming nahirapan, no? And considering how big composition ang business MSME sa economy natin. So it's really trying to help them in a way that we've partnered with several organizations also, since marami tulad ng Management Association or yung Trade Union United, dito mo nakita talaga yung spirit of bayanihan kasi we're caught in a similar situation that we really have to help each other. So yung first na ginawa namin, actually nag-hold kami ng several online fora, since ang PMA is really a thought leader organization. So it's like really trying to give light into some wisdom or inspiration that could help businesses think further on how to move forward.
Quick question. Ano yung obvious na shift na nangyari sa marketing because of this pandemic?
So definitely digital. Kasi since nasa bahay ka, talagang everything is already, you're really practically operating on digital. In fact, just this last week and the previous week, I've been working on back-to-back anniversary issues ng Business World and PhilSTAR. And it's not really just working on the issue itself. It's really trying to create that kind of campaign um, that readers would really enjoy. So, kinakareer namin siya talaga every year. It's trying to address our readers na, okay, hey, this is the time, it's our anniversary, we have to be thankful. So, these are the things that we'd like you to think about. So, parang ganun yung effort namin every year. So, when we did that, actually, Lloyd, everything was on Zoom. So, pag
Wow.
drawing, um, yes. But yung mga pictorials niyan, totoong pictorials yan, ha? Those
Oh,
pictures, those were directed on Zoom.
very nice. These are the things that you don't think doing prior to pandemic, di po ba? I mean,
Yes. So everything now is actually everything is online. Everything is the way we communicate is actually on digital. Um,
is
so
this
yun yung
something that if this is this something na tinitingnan nyo na long term na well more or less kailangan masanay nyo na that you do this this particular way, digital Zoom directing and things like that.
it's giving us a new perspective on generally parang it's really making you recognize that there are new ways of doing things. So, new discoveries, ito nga yung new normal, di ba, pinag-uusapan natin. Pero, halimbawa yung work from home, for example, maraming companies ang na-expose na, okay, it's really possible to operate normally na, and you're working from home. And people like us working from home is actually trying to get to this kind of new normal where you're trying to divide your time between time for home and time for working. But ang nangyayari actually is a new discovery that actually you can actually do things all things at the same time. You can work and then talk to your son, talk to your wife. There's really a work-life blend happening at home that is not getting in the way, or there's no conflict happening at all. So
Mm.
that's one of the nicest discoveries that in this pandemic that we're all working from a home setting. We're doing things a lot
Talagang,
in a home setting.
talagang, talagang in-stretch yung imagination natin, no? Parang tinest yung
Correct.
agility,
So
yung
so imagine
flexibility.
mo yung when we were doing the anniversary issue, no, parang we wanted kasi the feature was really trying to document all personal experiences from different people, walks of life, different industries, all across industries. Ano yung take mo in this pandemic, diba? So we compiled all that. There are 120. We were able to compile a lot, double than last year na feature namin. Last year we featured 60 personalities. This year we featured like 123
Wow.
personalities. And that was made possible because of digital. So for the first time, this really became a digital first effort where the 123 personalities were featured in our
No.
to be launched site. Pero live na siya, yung other site. So yan yung mobile version.
Parang
Um,
baliktad sir no? Parang ngayon pa dumami kung kailan parang restricted.
Yun nga eh. Tapos mas konti yung pages sa print kasi syempre parang
Mm.
advertising ngayon parang medyo
Mm.
maraming companies wait and see, di ba? So
May
parang
print pa rin
medyo,
kayo sir, no? May print pa rin kayo?
yes, meron.
Printed. Oo. Kaso ako
Um,
hindi ko na ma-compile yung column ko sa Manila Times eh. Kasi hindi ako
actually,
makakuha ng print.
I think we're the only paper that still circulated during the ECQ.
Mm.
Kasi ang daming tumatawag pa rin sa amin asking for the physical copy.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Oh.
so yun, may iba pa mga kwento, syempre, yung parang yung distribution problem, yung
Mm.
hindi naman immediately pwede ka mag-distribute. So, yung, even on
Oo.
a limited capacity, we still printed during that time.
Oo, yun.
But yun yung discovery nga na ano eh, we really believe na in this challenge. Syempre, print has been suffering for the last few years, di ba?
Oo.
Of all traditional media, print talaga yung natatamaan. And bagong dagok tong pandemic, di ba? Kasi parang down na nga, parang inaapak-apakan ka pa sa putik, di ba?
Yeah, exactly. And you know what is following? Yung free TV.
Correct. Hindi, sobrang maraming nangyari ngayon sa media in this pandemic. The story of the ABS, of course, na sobrang malaking effect. It's really going to create a huge impact on the media industry and
But
the media as a whole.
But it also change yung behavior ng market from kumbaga parang sabi nga ng survey, mas yung iba wag na lang manood ng TV kasi hindi ABS-CBN. So they turn to what? Siyempre yung internet, 'di ba? Facebook or kung ano man. And I think it's worth noting din, sir. Siguro may kwento ko na rin lang. So TNC started dun sa idea na ganoon na parang kailangan ng mga tao ng inspiration. Ano ang gagawin natin? So anong platform ang gagawin natin? Possible ba na magawa natin yung traditional na ginagawa sa studio na nandito lang tayo with all the directors and the producers and things like that. So in a matter of 2 months, yun yung ginawa naman namin. So I think you're right. Media, whatever the medium is, whether you are print or nasa airwaves ka, talagang talagang na challenge. So I'm going to pause for one more commercial, then I'm going to go back to you and let's talk about mga advocacies and kung ano pa yung nakikita niyo in the future, ano yung mga strategies moving forward. The big picture will return. Stay tuned. Alright, welcome back. You're still watching The Big Picture on the new channel. Ibalik ko na kagad Sir Lucien at para may paliwanag yung video na yan.
Yan naman yung anniversary issue ng Business World, the Road to Recovery. Yan din, both issues are really talking about and trying to chronicle our experience in the pandemic. Philippines Star more on the how life has impacted us in this pandemic. The Business World naman is how has the pandemic affected our businesses and the economy. So in that issue, nandun lahat yung mga analysis and forecasts in with regard to our performance, how things will be in the next few months in the coming year.
Can they still get it somewhere, website?
Yes, through wait lang, theworldonline.com. So
Okay.
may microsite doon, live pa rin until now, yung The Road to Recovery. And then, plug ko na rin, in November, meron pa rin kaming economic forum. We'll be talking about 2021, yung forecast, yung crystal ball for 2021.
Sir, bigyan mo kami ng material para mapalabas namin dito kung ano ha.
Yes, thank you. Sobrang interesting and exciting for us. Yun, as I said, yung shift namin to digital has been really tremendous. Parang everything became fast forward at this time, no? But I'd also like to share na yung parang one of the discoveries nga nung sa pandemic is yung demand from our newspaper audience is still there. So, ibig sabihin, may market pa rin na nagbabasa ng dyaryo talaga ng physical. So, I think as long as that market is still there, parang nandun pa rin yung security ng newspapers. And it's really important for us to really weather it out itong challenge kasi parang ito yung survival of the fittest right now. But what's really important for media entities is it's still content. That's why ako kahit physically they shut down ABS will still thrive for me because of the strength of their content. Same thing also the way it's the kind of the kind of content that you produce is actually going to be your savior, and that's what I've been saying.
See. Pangarap ko magkaroon ng content ng TNC na in partnership with Star eh. Possible kaya yun?
Oo naman. Mapatol kami.
I like the term.
Marami kami mga collaborations. Actually, we do a lot of collaborations. And you'd be surprised. I think it's not one of the most notable collaborations we did was when we did a teleserye a few years back with Cinema One. So imagine mo Dario nag-teleserye. Diba?
Yeah, I can never imagine.
It's not possible without a collaboration with Cinema One. So we firmly believe in collaborations, and there are certain markets that we really can't cover on our own, and it would really help reach out to different audiences by collaborating.
Sige, sir. So, take note namin yan. Anyway, na-capture naman, no? Live naman, no? Recorded as live. Sir, may a very quick game lang and then I'm going to post my final question. So, this is just for fun. This is a game called Big or Small. I'm going to mention an item and you tell me if you prefer it to be small or big. Ready?
Okay.
Coffee.
Big.
Milk tea.
Big.
Car.
Small.
House.
Big.
Family.
Tama lang.
Medium. Dalawa lang yung pamimili.
Nag-isip pa eh.
Credit limit sa credit card.
Small.
Planet in the solar system.
Big.
Bed.
Big.
Wristwatch.
Sana wala na lang.
Nasa cellphone na kasi. If heaven is
Nasa
true,
mind.
sir?
Nasa mind na. Yung time nasa mind na.
Nasa
May chip
mind na yun.
sa brain.
That was so advanced, but one day I know it will come that way. If heaven is true, except from your family members and myself, sino ang gusto mong isama sa langit kung aakyat ka na ngayon?
Lahat kami.
Damay-damay na. Sabay-sabay na. Sir, you are a barber. Sinong artista ang gusto mong gupitan?
Sino ba? Ikaw lang maisip. Si Rebel Rocco.
Wala na pong buhok yun.
Pero wala na akong gagawin.
Wala ka lang gagawin. If you are a gym instructor, sinong political leader ang gusto mong i-train sa gym?
Si Duterte.
Okay. If you are an astronaut, sino gusto mong isama sa outer space?
Si Obama.
You have all the money in the world. Which company are you going to buy?
Facebook.
Okay. Thank you so much for being a good sport, sir. Yun lamang po yung ating game. Maraming salamat sa inyong pag-participate. Hindi naman mahirap no? Pero mapapaisip ka din minsan. Sir, final question. What's the big picture sa nangyayari ngayon?
You know, the title of our anniversary issue is called In Between. And this is exactly how we are now. We are in between. And it means that we're trying to move on. We're trying to move on, but by learning a lot of experiences from this pandemic. The big picture right now is still blurry, but as we move along, we just have to be tenacious and faithful that we will be able to weather this. Because hindi ito mangyayari, I think the vaccine, until there's a vaccine already in place, that will help mitigate our situation and hopefully things will get back into normal. I don't see it happening this year. It might happen until middle of next year. So recovery is still a long way. You're talking about 2022 before things really become normal. So kailangan lang maging strong and kailangan maging saga. And you have to stay positive. In this
Hindi sa
situation.
COVID,
Yes. Yes, not a problem. But positive in the sense, positive in spirit, because those things won't kill you. Always try to look for the things that are valuable at this stage as we discover all the challenges that we're experiencing. And there are two discoveries actually that are happening right now. And it's really important for you to appreciate these things. Wag na ma-depress sa mga nawala. Lahat tayo.
So lagi ko nga po sinasabi, pinapaalala na wala ka nang babalikan pero marami kang pwedeng dalahin. Hindi naman nawala yung friends mo and yung skill mo nandun pa din. So principles mo yun pa din naman. So marami kang pwedeng dalahin moving forward. Sir, maraming salamat. Unless meron ka pang last words or message.
Hindi naman, I'm just thankful that I'm still part of media. And during this time, it's really yung role ng media is really important. All the more that people are really trying to look for information that is reliable. And I really believe that society in general behaves according to the way media reports the news. So I'm really thankful that I'm here because I can have a really good contribution to society.
See?
By being media.
May pandemic o wala, the mission stays. Diba? Same
Yes.
lang yung mission. Okay. Sir, maraming salamat sa time mo. I would like to ask about your experience dito sa TNC para naman may feedback ako real time.
Okay. Live? Now na?
Hindi ba? Kung in-enjoy mo lang interview and then okay na po sa akin yan. Good job daw. Good job daw sabi ni Marco eh. Sige na nga, ayaw sumagot ni Sir Lucien. Si Marco na nakakausapin ko. Thank you so much, Sir Marco. Good job, Lloyd Luna and Lucien Dy Tioco. Opo.
Thank
Sir,
you.
maraming salamat sa time mo, ha?
Congratulations, Lloyd. This is a very good program. And very impressive channel.
Salamat po. I'll put you back on backstage and then wag po muna kayong alis kasi magpapasalamat pa kami sa backstage. Oh, may backstage tayo. Sige po. Salamat,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Lucien Dy Tioco is the Executive Vice President of the PhilSTAR Group. The Big Picture is presented to you by Puzzlebox BPO Inc., also sponsored by SMDC, Unisol, Luluran, Telepreneur, Statback, Creative Voices, PAPS, and PALP. Maraming salamat sa panonood. Hanggang bukas. This is your host, Lloyd Luna, The Big Picture on the new channel. Stay tuned. After Shift is next.